Guys, this is Bob Bain, Joe Massey for this week's episode of the 40 Years and 40 Beers podcast. What's going on, Mass?
Nothing much, man. I'm excited to be back. How you been?
Good, man. So I've been looking at a lot of things this week just on the internet and just watching the news a lot. I've came across Japanese vending machines, Mass. They have McDonald's vending machines, pizza vending machines. They have whole halls that have 30 vending machines on each side, and every one is a different category, right? So you go up there, and this is the other amazing thing. It might cost like $3.40 American to feed yourself for the evening. You basically go in, and let's say you want to go to McDonald's, all right? They have a McDonald's vending machine, and you go over, you pick your number 5, your double quarter pounder with cheese, your French fries, you get your soda, you put your money in, and you hit a button. 30 seconds later, all of a sudden, the whole meal comes out. It's hot as could be. It tastes amazing, all right? They also have fucking things tailored to Japanese culture, right? So they might have a wasabi, burger. They might have, some sort of pork, that we don't eat that they eat over there.
Settle down.
We're getting canceled. Oh
but wait, I mean, is this are they all food related, or the vending machines have other stuff besides food?
They have all kinds of stuff, Mass. It's all over the entire country. Sometimes they're just in random places. Like there might just be one as you're walking down the street.
But I mean, this room of 30 on either side that you're describing, it's kind of like a mall where you can go and get food and other accessories through a series of vending machines and then bounce.
Correct. It's not, I guess you could call it a mall, but at the same time, it's really like you described. It's like a hallway. So remember you used to have like payphone banks, like in train stations and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. It's a vending machine bank. I mean, they have games where you just play. It's like a claw machine game, and you're going to get a dessert, right? And you keep playing until you win. So it's not like you're wasting your money. Every time you just keep going and going and going, trying to get this dessert.
A dessert in the game or real food?
No, it's real food. It's like, the crane game, the claw game? What do you think? It's a freaking digital, a PS5?
No, you said game, so I'm like, am I getting food in the game, or am I getting food in real life by playing the game?
No, you're getting food by playing the crane game that you waste money on trying to win all the shit that your kids never win. Now, here's the other question I have. What kind of cancer-causing substance is in this machine that makes it warm up that quickly?
Even if humans are involved, it's beforehand. They're only stocking these things. And to have a full McDonald's meal in 30 seconds out of the vending machine, that's totally sus.
So I have this theory. All right. I have this theory that there's this whole community of very, very tiny people that we don't know about.
You talking about midgets?
No. Smaller. Like kind of microscopic. And what happens is they put them in these vending machines.
You are high as a giraffe's ass.
They're all actually walking, or they're all actually working in there. That's what's going on. Could you
like the Indian in the cupboard? You got a bunch of little people running around.
Exactly what I'm thinking. Like the Indian in the cupboard size, right? And then they're all working in there. So it's like there's like 30 little kitchens in there. So that's
I'm
how they
smelling
get
what you're stepping in. But
the chicken sandwich think about that. Think about if there was a community of tiny little people that we don't know about.
Only in Japan.
No, that would be only in Japan.
Oh my God, you're fucked up.
Why don't we have this in the U.S.? So it's not an employment issue, right? Because Japan has a pretty high population, and they don't have an employment issue.
It might be because of the high population. The speed and convenience of how you serve that large of a population could probably be part of it for sure.
It could. And the quality of the food from what I've seen is absolutely amazing. I haven't seen anybody just like dog it. I think you can actually get vending machines for like hot towels. Oh, they have vending machines that are mystery gift vending machines. You don't know what you're getting. It could be anything. It could be a $50 prize to like a $4,000 prize.
That's nuts. And these are all normal prices. Normal meaning like if I walk into a McDonald's in Japan, the number 5 is the same price as the number 5 at the vending machine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's no difference, right? There's no, I guess you would say, convenience fee, right? There's not a convenience fee of any type.
Or just different, period. Yeah, okay.
You go to a Starbucks and order a cup of coffee, it's a goddamn robot.
Yeah.
A robot mixes, it's like on like, it's engineered so it's on like a swivel, and it turns, gets the coffee, comes over, gives it to you.
What are you drinking today?
Right now, so unfortunately, I have to coach a baseball game later at 5:45, and I do have a policy of not having any alcohol.
I just got a regular white wine spritzer today.
I mean, back to the vending machines, all right? So you can get all of the traditional Japanese staples. Okay. So you can get chicken tenders, you can get French fries, you can get salads, ice cream, cake in a can. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, anything you can imagine. And on the flip side of that, you also have Japanese diners. All right. You go in, you sit at a table. Okay. You pay. Some of them are all you can eat. Some of them you pay based on what you eat. But you sit at the table, and let's say, it's you, your family, and there's 4 of you. Okay. You're sitting side by side. There's a conveyor belt that's never ending, that just keeps going around and around and around in front of you. And it's pretty slow. So you just sit there and basically look around and go, okay, take that plate, take that plate. And then when you're done, you just put your plates at the end of the table and somebody comes and gets them. But you got to see the amount of plates these people are just eating. The
That's
most incredible
crazy.
sushi in the world, right?
Well, hold on. Is it incredible? I mean, conveyor belt sushi doesn't sound like it's incredible to me.
I have to imagine when it's coming from the place it was invented, it's pretty damn good, right? Like,
What? No,
are you gonna
because
go to
not every
Italy?
cheese. If we had conveyor belt cheesesteaks, you wouldn't be saying that. I don't agree.
Yeah, but I think that's because they take better pride in their food, possibly, like us, than we do Americans.
On a conveyor belt in a vending machine?
What
Who
I'm
takes
saying
pride
is,
in that?
here's the principle, all right? It's the same principle as if you went over to Italy. You're telling me you're going to have a bad plate of pasta over in Italy, right? You're going to have
No. And I'm not
bad
saying the
pizza over
sushi's
in Italy.
bad.
It's the same thing.
I'm not saying the sushi's bad, but I would have to imagine that if you go into a 5-star restaurant and have it cooked by a human being, it's going to taste better than the conveyor belt sushi, even in the motherland.
It's cooked by a human being in Japanese. I mean, in Japan. Oh, shit.
How many languages are you cooking in?
I don't know. I don't know.
God.
So isn't that amazing? I mean, we don't have anything like this in the U.S. And I feel
We
like
don't.
think about it. There's transportation.
Did you see the transportation thing in Japan? There's a tube that comes under your house. A little hole opens up. The kid pops up out of the tube, and that's how they
Get the hell out of here.
Dog, that's how they drop him off from school. You've never seen this?
Cuz, listen, are you okay?
Dog, I promise you.
Do you know what this sounds like?
It could be completely made up, but there is a video online. A tube, they got the glass floor. There's a shuttle, like what's it called? What's the thing?
A few moments later.
There's a glass floor in this woman's house and a fucking tube, like a giant, the old school envelopes you used to put money in at the bank back in the day when you would go to the drive-thru. There's a tube like that comes under the broad's crib, and it's got a fucking child in it. And a cylinder comes up from the center of the tube, and it's like a little elevator. The kid walks out of the tube straight into his mother's arms, and then the tube goes to the next house.
Because listen, I saw this episode on the Jetsons too. I mean, I saw this one. And then the dad came home from Spacely Sprockets, and then telling you, there's no way this is true.
But living here, and you think about when you see things or you visit other countries and you see these things, it does dawn on you, like, why everybody but us? For sure. Tons of people have had that thought before.
Yeah, no, I agree. So have you seen what's going on with Elon and all the Tesla people? It's so crazy out there, dude. Like, look, there's people out there who don't like Elon, right? And I'm not a huge fan of Elon, but people are basically vandalizing other people's Teslas and treating Tesla owners like assholes because they don't like Elon.
Yeah.
What do the people who bought a Tesla have to do with your feelings about Elon? They're allowed to do whatever they want to do with their hard-earned money, right?
Well, yes. I think the only semblance of rationale that you could attach to that is buying a Tesla is supporting Elon Musk in some way, shape, or form. But you're right. It's not appropriate. It's not a one-to-one connection. And if you hate Tim Cook, you're not smashing my iPhone on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. It's not cool. It's not right. I'm just saying that by a loose stretch, you might be able to make the connection that somebody buying a Tesla is supporting Elon in some way. And if you hate Elon, maybe that's how they're justifying their behavior. I don't know. But that's a big stretch, cause to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, and listen, if you want to vandalize the car just because they're an idiot for buying an electric car, hey,
whoa. I bought an electric car last week. Well, I'm leasing it. Dog, like April gets all the nice cars. I have used cars every year. I'm shelling out tons of money to get it to pass inspection. And I was just like, I'm done with this, right? So I'm like, instead of giving the mechanic $4,000 to fix my '08, I'd rather put it down on something new. Poop was like, nah, dog. He's like, I can get you at or under 2 if you consider an electric vehicle. I'm like,
$200 a month?
Yeah, 198. I absolutely would consider.
I didn't even know that was a possibility in today's world.
Well, I put 4 down.
Okay.
And it's $198 a month. I work from home, so I can keep it plugged in at the house. Now, granted, that's not as fast as a charging station, but if I'm sitting at the if I'm sitting working or I'm talking to you for 9-10 hours a day, it's plugged in, right? Like it's helping. Like I texted you guys yesterday. I was at the charging station. I went from 44% to 92% in 30 minutes. And it cost me like $28. So it's the same as a tank of gas anyway. You know what I mean?
But you're not sitting there for 30 minutes for gas.
You're not. Yeah. I'm not saying the trip to recharge is as convenient. There's no way that that's possible. But the car is dope. Like, and I love it. It's got a giant 17-inch screen.
That's cool.
It's really cool. And there's no CarPlay or Android Auto, which I thought that was going to be an issue, but it's called connected services. The things that the car needs to stay connected to the internet are free. So like you can't hop in the car, connect to Wi-Fi and stream Netflix. But like when the car needs to use Google Maps, that has data and it's free. But they have like their own version of Google Maps and it takes charging and your battery into consideration with your route. So it'll tell you like if you want to drive to Cape May, it's going to take you 2.5 hours. Battery's going to be at 2% when you get there, or your battery's going to die halfway through. You should stop at this station, add 30 minutes to your route. The big 17-inch screen is over to the right, but your console, your dash that you have behind the wheel, you could move the map to that. And like it never occurred to me that.
So where like your odometer or speedometer would be, you can
change it to Google Maps. You change it to Google Maps. And it never occurred to me like, yes, you need the map directly head on. Why would you be wanting to turn up or down? You know what I mean? So like,
interesting.
The kids love it. I love it. Me and Julia just drive it to the corner and we'll wait for the bus just because it's just so dope to be in. It's not just getting the car and the cool tech inside, which is phenomenal. Dog, it has one pedal. There's no brake.
What do you mean it has one pedal?
Okay, so the brake is there, but you're only allowed to use the brake when you're in reverse and there's an emergency.
What do you mean you're only allowed? It comes with rules? What are you talking about?
There's a button on the screen that says activate one pedal.
Okay.
And when you activate the one pedal, you have one pedal. You push down on the accelerator to go. The harder you push, the faster you go. You let up off the accelerator to stop. The faster you stop, the more abrupt your stop is. Dog, Jiggles sold me the car. He's like, you got to take it out for a ride. I didn't know I was going through training. Okay. He's like, let's take it out for a ride while we're waiting. And I'm like, all right, cool. So he throws me the keys. We hop in the car and we bust a right driving around Southwest. And he's like, I have no idea this is happening. In the middle of the ride, he's like, okay, I'm going to activate one pedal now. He's like, stop using the brake. And he hits the button on the screen. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's so wild. You've been driving the same way for 30 years,
sure.
25 some years. So I'm like, he's like, it takes some getting used to. This was last Thursday or 2 Thursdays ago. I'm still not used to it. And it doesn't use the brake. So when you let up off the accelerator, the battery just stops moving the car forward. They estimate you could get 5 to 8 years on a set of brakes because when you let up off the accelerator, you're not pressing the gas. You're not pressing the brake. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
It's wild, dog. Like, and it has this thing called auto hold. When you fully let up off the accelerator, it stops the car.
Okay.
So like when you're stopped at a red light or a stop sign, auto hold kicks in. Your foot's not on the brake or the accelerator. And then the minute you push down on the accelerator, auto hold lets up. Sometimes when I park the car, it's auto hold, and I don't even have the car in park. Sometimes I'll get out of the car and it's still in drive because
I think it was rolling down the goddamn street.
It doesn't move. The minute that you completely let up from the accelerator, auto hold kicks in. That's what it's called. It comes up on the screen.
Okay.
And it's just like you're in park. The thing dings at me and beeps, throws the emergency brake on because I get out of the car. You have to hit 3 buttons on the screen to shut the car off.
It sounds to me like when you take your foot off the accelerator, right, and auto hold comes on, right? Is that what you're explaining? There's
not
probably
as you let up slowly. You have to be completely off for auto hold.
But I'm saying there's probably like some sort of sensor that knows when, like, a safe distance to actually stop the vehicle. There's got to be.
No, you're completely stopping the vehicle manually. Auto hold only kicks in when your foot is completely off the accelerator.
So, all right, what happens if you get too close to a vehicle and have to come to a sudden stop?
That's what I said. So A, the car won't let that happen. There is a sensor. If you run in front of me and I'm gently letting up off the accelerator, but I'm not doing a good enough job, and someone dashes out in front of the car, it'll stop. Like you'll get jerked forward. It'll stop immediately. But that's what I'm saying is emergencies, you can slam on the brake. So you have that. It's just like, when you're taking your driving test and the driver has the brake that comes across the center console and into their feet.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's the same concept. They can slam on the brake in an emergency if they absolutely have to, and so can you. But under normal circumstances, when you're going forward and you have that one pedal activated, you're not using the brake at all.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's wild. So, like when I pull into a parking spot, it's very difficult. But that's another thing. They have overhead cameras all over the car. You get a 3D view of the entire vehicle, and you get front and back cameras. So as I'm pulling into a spot, I can see where I'm at. It helps you park. I can see how close I am to the curb and everything.
Now, everything Teslas, there's really nothing inside them because everything for the car is on the screen. Your air conditioned, everything. Is the Blazer like that as well?
There are physical buttons for air and heat. They have 3 fans underneath the giant screen and 2 on either side. It took me a minute to find the hazard lights. They're where the sunglass case would be, up above where the dome lights are. The temperature and the force of the heat and air are physical buttons, and then the volume. But every physical button has a digital companion. If you go see Dan Staley, Joe Baholsky, and the team down at Chapman Chevrolet in the Southwest Auto Mall, Philadelphia, you can, with a couple thousand down, you can get an electric car for under $200 a month. You arrange the charging station on the app. The best one for me.
It's keyless entry, right?
Yes, the
Is
best
it a
one
card?
for me.
Is it like a card that you have to swipe?
No, you have a fob. I don't have it on me. You have a fob. I can start it from my phone. It's crazy. You could see how much battery you have. You could monitor. If you're not at the charging station, and like I just had it plugged in at the crib, you could monitor the battery going up. You know what I mean? From your phone. But there's a super fast charger at the Wawa in Malvern. I don't know if you've ever been there before, but the Wawa in Malvern has like 12 Tesla charging stations and then a bunch of like regular EV charging stations for like GM and other makes and models as well.
So I think that's also the difference, I think, a little bit between Tesla and the other EVs. Like I think Teslas are designed to charge much faster.
Yeah, they have their own stations, yeah.
So a supercharger, if you're able to get in onto one of those, right? Because what I understand too, when they have these charging banks, right, whatever the hell they're called,
super fast can go up to 350 kilowatts. I've never gotten that high before, but it could go. The advertisement is it can go up to that much.
Yeah. So when you were charging your car, what was it at? And were you on the supercharger? Was it only at like 50 kilowatts? Was it at 100 kilowatts?
40 to 50 is what I would average at. So I was super fast. Malvern Wawa. It was, I used EV Go is the app and the station that I used. And I was telling you, I went from 44% to 92% in literally a half hour. It was like $28 plus they charge you a convenience fee. And at 40 to 50 kilowatts, I don't know, per minute, per second, whatever
I would like to know what the
Teslas
are. I'm curious.
They have like a waiting area for people who are charging in the Wawa. They have peak hours, right? So not only do you have to choose between slow, medium, fast, and super fast charging, and obviously everybody wants to get into the fast charging, but they have peak, off peak, and super off peak. So let's say midnight to 6 a.m. is super off peak. Okay. It'll cost you less to charge during super off peak. And then off peak might be 6 a.m. to noon. I don't know. I'm making it up. I don't know what the hours are. And it'll be a little more expensive per kilowatt or per percent. They're stroking you. They just want more money. It's the same electricity. You know what I mean? Like there's a mindset change. You have memory muscle from driving with two different, a brake and a gas. I have a whole folder of apps on my phone because there's Blink, there's EV Go, there's Amp Up, there's Plug Share, there's EV America. There's like Google Maps tells you every option available to you in your zip code. And so like if you drive to one and you don't have the app installed, you got to sign up for the app. One of them makes you prepay. Like I had to put $20 on the app. I haven't been able to find a friggin' Blink station near me in the last 2 weeks, but I got $20 on the card whenever I get there. It's a little anxiety inducing when you start to get down to like yesterday I was at 40% and I'm like, shit, Like, let me just go
40%. That's a little under a half tank.
I know, but like when you called me last night, it took me an hour to drop all of Rocco's friends off from the Y, and I lost 12% just taking everybody home from the Y. You know what I mean? So like,
okay, so that's interesting. It sounds like then it does probably function a little bit similar to a gasoline powered car, meaning like if you're doing a lot of start and stop, and you probably lose power more than if you're just traveling 70 miles an hour on a highway.
Jiggles was saying in the winter the battery depletes way faster than normal. So I'm not looking forward to next winter, but there were a couple weeks where it was single digits. I hope that doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? But it's a 3-year lease. It's not the end of the world. I'll keep you guys updated with, how it fares in the different weather conditions, different seasons and stuff like that. So Phillies opening day was yesterday, right?
It's the greatest day of the year, besides St. Patrick's Day. I mean, of course.
Wait, and then you also said the NCAA bracket thing was the best day of the year. How many best days of the year do you have?
So in my life,
the Eagles winning a Super Bowl?
There's probably about 20 in my life.
Okay. 20
it's always good. It's always good to have options. You know what I mean? You got to have optionality. But yeah, the Phils did win yesterday 7-3. And you ever been to opening day?
No, I've been to a Phillies game before, never on opening day.
Oh God, so I've been to opening day.
Did you go?
No, I didn't get to go. It was away.
Oh, okay.
So it was in Washington.
Oh, okay.
They were away. So I've been to opening day before, though, with my kids, and a great opening day story. I'm at Widener. I'm a freshman at Widener, and me and this, not my roommate, he was a guy I knew there. We go down for opening day, and we have a bottle of vodka, and we have a gallon of peach iced tea from Wawa. So we dump, half the iced tea out, just put the vodka in, and we get loaded. Kurt Schilling is pitching for opening day. That's what it was, 2000 was the year. So we go in, and there's nobody in the stadium because they sucked in 2000. So we go down to the box seats. I don't know if you remember the Vet for baseball, but they had like those box seats down on the field.
Yeah.
So we go down, and dude, I'm yelling crazy stuff because the catcher stunk. I'm loaded. I'm 18 years old. And I'm like, oh, you might as well just put a piece of plywood back there instead of the catcher, right? And people who are around are laughing. Well, the usher comes down and is like, hey, can I see your tickets? You guys are being kind of rowdy. And we're like, we don't have tickets. And the guy says, the usher basically says, all right, well, you guys got to go. I got to kick you out. The guy sitting behind us, him and his wife, say to the usher, hey, listen, they don't have to go anywhere. These are actually my seats here. Here are the 2 tickets. He's like, they're not bothering anybody. They're just having a good time. They were probably in like their mid-60s.
But he had tickets for multiple empty seats?
He owned the box. He must have been some guy who was loaded.
How did you get in without tickets? I understand going into a different seat.
We had seats. We had seats to get into the stadium.
You didn't have those seats.
Correct. Right. We had like $7, $8 seats or whatever, general admission seats.
I thought you were saying you didn't have any seats at all. Like you climbed the fence or something.
No, this was a time when the Phillies were so bad, dude. You could just go down and get tickets, even on opening day. Yeah. But now opening day at the Phillies game is such a spectacle. It's such a big thing because they're so good. It's like an event. And I love baseball more than most things. And every year on opening day, I get so excited. Like yesterday, I was just sitting there. I was saying to my buddy at work, I was like, all right, 3 hours. All right, 3 hours. Come on.
2 hours.
Come on, 2 hours. And for me, it just brings me back to, being a kid because I played so much baseball growing up. And I just love the game. I love everything about it. I love everything that it represents. I think it's the hardest thing there is to do sport-wise. I truly do. I think it's the hardest thing there is out there.
I understand the first game is the first game and there's significance there. But why would a sports team celebrate opening day if it wasn't home? So aren't we going to have a celebration for the first home game as well?
We will. Yeah. No? So obviously there's got to be half the teams have to start on the road, right? For MLB opening day because you have to have a home and an away team. Yeah, so this was the Nationals opening day. But it's still MLB opening day. You know what I'm saying? And then
when the Phillies opening day is their Monday. First home game. I got you.
Yeah, so they'll have their home opener will be on Monday.
Are we good this year?
Oh, yeah, they'll be good. Yeah, they're going to be good for a long time. They have a great owner. They have a great farm system now. Do you know what a farm system is?
No.
So a farm system is your minor leagues.
I play Farmville. I've dabbled in Farmville on my phone, but I'm guessing it's different.
No worries. So it's farm system in baseball, right? So baseball is a lot different than all the other sports. When you get drafted in basketball, football, right out of college, you go right to the NBA. You go right to the NFL, right? When you get drafted in baseball, you go to single A or A advanced, okay, which is minor league baseball. All right. All of the money you make is in your signing bonus. Well, you have guys who maybe get a $25,000 signing bonus. And then when they go to the minor leagues, they're making $2,300 a month before taxes. Yeah, these guys don't make any money when they're in the minors. I think the max is maybe $4,000 a month, $4,500 a month now if you're in AAA, depending on service time. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. There's single A, A advanced, double A, triple A. There's 4 levels of minor league baseball. Most prospects who get drafted play at all 4 levels. So you have to play 4 levels of pro baseball before you even get to the majors.
How long at each level do you last?
That depends on how good of a prospect you are. Some are there for 2 years. Some people play 3 levels over a season. Depending how good you are.
If you're really strong, I got you. Okay.
Correct. I mean, you have guys who never make it out of the minors. There's tons of guys who never make it out of the minors.
So I think we were talking about this, or I don't know if I saw a clip somewhere else. It might have been a Gary Vee clip. Somebody was saying in the 50s, they actually had to have real jobs because they paid so little. Baseball paid so little back then that you couldn't support your family. Do a lot of the people in the A leagues have other jobs on the side?
Great question. So usually when you're in the A leagues, right, you're younger. All right. So if you're drafted out of high school, which is very common for baseball, they do draft a lot of high school eligible players and college. You can, in junior college, you're eligible at any level, freshman, sophomore, whatever. In college baseball, if you go to a 4-year university, you're not eligible to be drafted until after your junior year. You're eligible to be drafted after your senior year of high school.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of those kids, what they do is they just come home and they work winters doing clinics, right? They'll work at baseball academies, and that's how they'll supplement their income.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Some of them will go down to the Dominican Winter League, play in the Dominican. They'll go to the Mexican Winter League, and they'll get paid by those teams to play.
No conflict of interest, or that's not against your contract to play in multiple leagues and stuff like that?
No, because it's the off season, right? And it benefits you, especially if you're trying to get to the majors, because all you're doing is getting more at bats.
Not if you get hurt. It doesn't benefit you, though.
No, but you can get hurt playing in the minor league for the system that you're in as well. They call it your system. So if you're playing for the Reading Phillies, okay, they're double A. You're still in the Phillies organization. You don't play for the Phillies, but you're in the Phillies organization.
So that's the farm: A advanced, double, and triple A.
Correct.
And the major leagues is part of the farm as well?
Nope. The major leagues is the major leagues. Triple A is the last part of the farm.
Does everybody have a 4-tier farm? Every baseball team?
Everybody, yes. It used to be larger. They used to have short season baseball and rookie ball and the Dominican Summer League, and now they've kind of streamlined it a little bit and got rid of some teams.
And it's like boxing. You stay within your weight class. So the Phillies double will never play a New York triple?
Correct. That's a good question. Yeah, the double A is the league. It's called the Eastern League. Is what the Reading Phillies are in, for example. You got ever hear the Blue Rocks in Wilmington?
Yeah, me and Rocco went to a game. Yeah,
there you go. So they're in the Carolina League. That's A advanced.
A advanced. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the second level of minor league baseball.
I forget. I think you got tickets from school. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just opening day. I'm really excited for the Phillies this year. Yeah, I think they
and we're doing good. Yeah,
Series.
that's awesome. Could you imagine if we won the World Series and the Super Bowl next year, or this year, next year?
We can only pray. We can only pray.
Padre, Fiel, Spirito Santi, Amen.
There you go. If you believe in that sort of thing. So again, we were talking about things that were going on in the week, right? And did you see what happened this week in the government with the top intelligence officers using the Signal app?
Yeah.
Is this not insane?
Crazy.
What it made me realize is, so you had this happen, okay? You had Hillary Clinton with her 30,000 emails on a private server.
Yeah.
Right? You have hyenas, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. I don't know if you know who they are, but they love to yell at the president. They like to yell at Biden when he was in the middle of the State of the Union address. So no respect for the office of the president, right? Then you got this other guy this year. I forget his name. Green, I think. He's a Democrat when Trump's trying to speak. He looks like Gimli from Lord of the Rings. You got to see this guy, all right? You got to see him, all right? And he's up there, again, disrespecting the office of the president, right? They're all clowns.
Yeah.
All of them. And we all get so worked up, right?
The left, right, all the political stuff. They're just ridiculous human beings. Like, we
All
all
of
put our
them.
pants on one leg at a time, but after they put their pants on, they're fucking wackadoos.
They are. They're
I mean,
wackos.
even though you're at such a high level and you have to be safe and secure, you still have to FaceTime with your grandkids. You still have to, you're still going to get a DM from a high school friend on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Like, whatever their version of that social interaction looks like, they're human. They're all still going to have that.
Mhm.
But, like, you have to separate business, especially when your line of work is like the government and the world. And
all this stuff is they already have all this advanced technology in place, right? So things don't get intercepted. But no, let's use I know it's an encrypted app, but it's still a public app.
They added a fucking journalist to it. So, like, even if they were using the secret, internal government version of Signal or Telegram or whatever the fuck they use, if you invite an outsider in, it's like, don't ever let anybody outside the family know what you're thinking. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you if you invite these guys, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you bring in an insider, like, if you pull up that curtain and let somebody run under, like, what the fuck, dude? It's crazy to me.
Nobody's sitting here going, you know what? At the end of the day,
they're all
friggin' idiots, and they don't care about us, and you kind of got to be for yourself, right? And I think if we all got to that area, people would just calm down. And I'm talking about myself included.
Like, imagine putting all of your energy and belief into one of these idiots who invited a fucking journalist to the Signal app. Now what do you do?
And
right? Like, your whole life, you were led to believe this guy, or you felt like this guy was putting you on the right path. And now, like, a mistake for them is different than a mistake for us. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a barber. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to grow back, dog. Like, you got a journalist into the fucking Signal app. Like, it's
not even the journalist aspect of it, Mass. Like, this could have been intercepted by the people they were attacking. You're giving times and the weapons that are being used.
Who runs the Signal app? It ain't encrypted for them. You know what I mean? It ain't encrypted for the cats that made the app.
This freaked me out in a way that, like we say, all they do is lie. That's all they do, right? They're not there for us. You just said people make mistakes, right? Look, the mission went off without a hitch. Everything was fine. Just come out and say, hey, you know what? We screwed up. Made a mistake.
Fucked up. Yeah, like that. I would respect that more than I had the private server because of this and that. And like,
same thing with Clinton. It's how many years now? It's 2016. I'm still like, you know what? When is she just going to be like, hey, you know what, guys? I screwed up. Blah blah blah. But none of them can ever do that on any side, right? They can't.
There's no accountability.
There's no accountability at all, right? Like, you had 30,000 emails on a private server. You have been in politics your entire life. You know that's not supposed to happen. But at the end of the day, just be like, all right, you know what? I screwed up. And we would actually probably not have all these problems, because I really think that's what gets people so riled up. Right? You're like, oh, they're lying. And people on the right are saying the left's lying. And look, they are. They're all lying to us.
Yeah.
And that's what it just keeps us fighting, which is frankly what I think they want.
I wonder if anybody has admitted to a mistake in recent political history. People in positions of power, no matter what it is, doctor, the fucking Pope, people in positions of power who make mistakes should own up to it, and it is a bigger deal when you make a mistake in a government position versus like a barber or, a mechanic or something like that. It just is. You're not getting paid mechanic money. You're not making mechanic mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that simple. But I will say, to be fair, what was the thing that just happened a couple months ago? There was a security app that had its claws in hundreds of systems and companies worldwide. Some guy, just a regular employee, updated the system and it crashed millions of Windows computers around the globe. And they were dark for like a day and a half. And they all had to be, most of the servers had to be fixed manually. They owned up to it immediately. They probably lost a shit ton of business. I'm sure the guy got fired, but they confessed, they apologized, and a mistake of that magnitude went away. we learned from it. I'm sure it's never going to happen again for that company or probably any others. The big takeaway was like, how could one company make a mistake and affect such a large part of the population? But they admitted it and they stopped getting their balls broke. It all kind of faded away because they owned up to it.
I just want to hear the truth from everybody.
Honestly, that's what we've been saying.
You know, and I'm not even talking about on the campaign trail, right? Like, I understand, like, when you're campaigning, and that's the name of the game in politics, right? The name of it is to try to defeat your opponent. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, but in the process, you're selling a lie that you have to carry out for the next 4 years and jerk everybody else off in the process.
Yeah, but I think that's even difficult to, you know, worry about, so to speak, because that's been the name of the, that's been the name of the game since, you know, Moses had short pants. You know what I mean? For Sopranos reference.
Since he put a dent in the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the theme here is honesty and owning up to your mistakes. Be a man, be a woman, and just say, I fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. So we were talking on the phone this week, and you said that you had this crazy, crazy story about your that I was going to laugh my ass off over.
Yeah.
So what's that all about?
So speaking of crazy people and not being honest, so I was there on Tuesday, and so like we all are like playing this game of, because he has these crazy things, and you don't know if it's like legit or he's just, it's part of one of the symptoms.
Okay.
Yes. So I walk in, and so he texts me at 1 a.m, 1:14 a.m. He's like, I have second and third breakfast. He's starving all day long. He's like, I have second and third breakfast covered. I need you to bring me McDonald's Egg McMuffin for my first breakfast. For my first breakfast. So I say, okay. But I get there, and even though I took off for the day, I had like a call that I had to take. I forgot to go to McDonald's. So you only have 2-hour parking. I got to fucking move my car every 2 hours at his crib.
This is down in crazy South Philly, right?
Yeah. So I walk in, and he's like, where's the Egg McMuffin? A chance to get it. As soon as I hang up this call, I'll go get it. He's like, they close at 11. I'm like, dog, there's other breakfast spots in the area. Like, I'm sure I can get you something, or I'll make it for you. He's like, there's nothing in the fridge to make breakfast. So he calls his cousin, and she's like in her 80s. She's in her PJs. It's 10:45 a.m. He's like, I need you
sounds like somebody we know.
He's like, I need you to get to McDonald's and get me an Egg McMuffin immediately before they close at 11. This bro puts her clothes on and goes there. And so I'm like, what did you just do? I'm on a meeting, and I'm over here him talking. And he's like, even in her PJs at 80, she's more reliable than you. He's like, I sent her to go Egg McMuffins because he's like, if you want anything done, you need to have do it for you. He's like, because you can't do it. I'm like, April made you banana nut bread, chicken noodle soup, homemade biscuits, and I could see the cereal and bananas in the sink that he already had his first breakfast. I'm like, why can't you eat what April brought you? And for your third fucking breakfast, I'll go get you McDonald's. He's like, it's on my tongue. So like he's saying like he's got a taste for it.
Mm-hmm.
So he has the McDonald's, and she brings it in, and she's like out of it. It's early for her. She's elderly. She says hi, bye. She hands him the food. I get off the meeting. He's eating the Egg McMuffin, and he tells me like, go to the basement, and there's a green and red box in the back of the basement. And now in the old South Philly houses, like you can't stand up in the back basement.
No, it's like a space.
You're like hunched in. So he's like, go into the back basement and get a red and green box. And it's filled with Christmas DVDs. And at the bottom of the Christmas DVDs is hair, cat hair. He's like, I need to make sure it's there. So my first reaction is like, you're jerking me off for not getting to McDonald's, right?
Yeah,
like you're fucking with me. He's like, no, I promise it's there. So I finally find this red and green tackle box. I open it up. There's a bunch of DVDs in it. And I lift up the DVDs, and there's cat hair. There's cat hair in a plastic bag in the bottom of the DVD bin. So one is labeled Mom Cat, and the other's labeled Baby Cat A and Baby Cat B. There's 3 bags, 3 sets of cat hair in these Ziploc bags with fucking labels on them.
You're not going to tell me what I think you're going to tell me. You're not going to tell me what I think.
I found the bags. So he's like, all right, bring them up. So I bring up the whole bin of DVDs, and he's like, I need to see the cat hair. So I show it to him, and he's like, okay, this is for my friend. She's coming to get the cat hair. So I'm like, this is so fucking crazy. I'm like, why do you have someone else's cat hair? He's like, she asked me to hide it. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And he's saying like, this is the poor man's version of like ashes in an urn. Like she
Okay.
didn't have the money to cremate the cats. So she took a little bit of hair from each one of them. I don't know why they died. He doesn't know either. And she put them in baggies, but I don't know why she's got to hide it. He's going to like suck it up with the vacuum or sprinkle it across
smoke
the
it?
fucking street.
You know,
So we get a knock at this door. This little old lady comes and she comes for the fucking cat hair. So she walks in, and I don't know all the particulars surrounding the cat's dying, how long this cat hair's been there, why she's coming to get it today of all days.
correct.
She comes in, they both start crying, they hug, they say hello. She sits down on the couch, he goes back on his recliner, and I'm standing like by the basement steps with this fucking tackle box in my hand. And I'm like, are you ready for the hair? Like, I don't know what to say. Like, this is so bananas.
I agree with you.
She's like, I don't know if I'm ready to see it. I don't know if I'm ready to take it yet. She's like, let me just see it from afar. So I hold it up like next to my cheek like this, like I'm jiggling the baggie of hair. And
Like
she
she's a
breaks
cat.
down, and she breaks down. She starts crying, dog. So she's like, I can't take it with me today. I'm like, what do you want me to do? She's like, you guys got to still keep holding on to it. I'm like, okay. So I go, can I put it back downstairs? He's like, yeah, put it away. Oh, I put the cat hair back, and she's like beside herself, and I bring it back down to the basement, and then like I'm ready to leave. You know, she's elderly, like drive her home. So I'm parked out front at this point because I have to keep moving my car. So I drive her home. I literally go to the corner, make a right, and her house is right there. And there's 900 cars piled up behind us. And I'm like walking her to the front door because she can't do it by herself. Help her get out of the car and all. And she's like, someday soon, I'm going to come back for the cat hair. She's like, I just need you to hold on to it until I'm ready. And I'm like,
So, you're going to be responsible for this.
I'm going to inherit the fucking cat hair. And I'm like, I don't know what. I have so many questions. And
I have questions.
if it was a longer ride home, I probably could have pulled something out of her. But like, she was literally across the street and down the corner. So like, it was really just because, you know, so I didn't make her have to walk back home. But she's holding my arm as we walk across the street, like we're going into a wedding. And she's like, one day soon, I'll come and get the cat. I'm like, oh my God, this is the craziest shit ever. Like, and they made me take pictures of the two of them hugging and smiling for the camera and all. And I'm like, I know who the woman is, but like, I have no idea why this cat hair exists, why he's holding it, why she can't, how the cat's died, why it's so significant to her.
What's it, enchanted?
When she's coming back for it. And here's the biggest part of all. Why don't the cats have fucking names? If these cats are so important to you, how come this motherfuckers ain't got a name? It's Mama Cat, Baby Cat A, and Baby. Like, I know you're not pouring the fucking 2% cat into a bowl and being like, Baby Cat A, come and get your milk. What the fuck is going on?
It's like Umbrella
dog?
Academy. They're ranked 1, 2, 3, 4. My God.
It's so nuts to me, dog. Like, I have no idea anything that happened on Tuesday afternoon.
I have a theory.
It's bananas.
I have a theory.
Good.
There were never any cats. She's
Whose hair is it?
She's just been obsessed with this cat hair her whole life. And that's why doesn't want her to have it. She's never had cats.
So I can attest to the fact that it's actual cat hair because it made me sneeze. But you're saying she stole the hair from another cat that wasn't hers, and she's a wackadoo?
I'm saying she's wackadoo. I'm not committing to how she got the cat hair. Okay, that's a theory for another time. But just hear me out.
The best part is to
out.
just theorize what this all could be.
Hear me out here. Okay, so I put a lot of thought into this while you were telling the story. All right. So what reason? All right, besides hates cats, right? Or she was so affected by these cats that having the hair in the house just really depresses her, whatever. Like she kind of let on, right? You know, no, if you keep that cat hair in here because you love these cats so much, I'm leaving you. I just don't see that happening.
The cat could have clawed his eyes out. The cat could be. We don't know.
We don't know, but a couple other factors. The cats didn't have names. These cats that she loved so much.
Well, if she's so crazy to be at this point, the cats' names could have been Mom Cat, Cat A, and Cat B. They could be their real names.
Possibly. Let me keep going. All right. The cats didn't have names. Okay. Doesn't want the cat hair in the house because he's freaked out about it because she's never owned any cats. she pretends that
He might not even know this hair exists, which is why it's being held at another person's house.
That her whole life she's had to have other people hold the cat hair.
And what if she just comes to visit it?
So
like it's a stepchild, like it's a child that she let someone else raise, and she just comes to visit them.
And how old is she?
She's like in her late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, so I want, but there's a small 1% of me that can't wait until you inherit this cat hair to see if you ever get rid of it.
I'm the day and I get into the house, I'm telling her, you either take it now or I'm throwing it, I'm putting it in the vacuum. That's it.
Wait, to her?
Yeah, I'm not.
Mash, you can't do that to her. This is her kink. I don't know what it is. What you want to call it? I don't know.
Take it back, or I'm throwing it away.
But listen to what
I'm allergic.
Mash,
listen to what you're saying.
Exactly.
That I should do.
Listen to what I'm saying, though. Listen to what I'm saying. This is how wackadoo this bro. She's never had cats her whole life. Somebody else has been holding the cat hair for her so she can come visit it. And she always says, I'm just not ready to take it yet.
It's got to end. It's got to end.
What if every time she finds a new person, the cats are died on different years? So what if this has been going on for 30 years? And 25 years ago, it was I lost the cat 5 years ago. And every 5 years, it's still I lost the cat 5 years ago.
Oh my God, cuz.
I think that's right? What else makes sense? Nothing else makes sense here.
Well, because he did say he had the insight of this is the poor man's version of cremating your pet. So she couldn't afford to cremate the 3 cats whenever it happened.
Disagree. Don't disagree.
She just cuts him here. If there was never an actual cat, why would he say that part? But again, he's
on a second. Is he there enough? Can we confirm with
it's his house?
Okay. I mean, no. I mean, mentally, can we confirm that he's ever seen the cats?
No, that's what I mean. Like, it could have been just something he started believing based on how crazy she is. But the fact that, like, this cat hair, these DVDs are like Miracle on 34th Street DVDs. Like, first of all, DVDs haven't been in print for a very long time. So the dust on this box, the fact that it's a Christmas fish and tackle box, which you don't fish in the winter, and the DVDs are so old, like leads one to believe that this cat hair is very old.
You mean like 1995? We're talking, 30 years old.
I would say it's a good decade old because the Ziploc, it's not Ziploc, it's an old bag. The white part that you write on looks yellowish and worn out. Like, you can tell, like, it's been around for a while. My point is...
Hold on, I'm not to cut you off. This adds another wrinkle because this further adds to the possibility that nobody has ever seen these cats.
Maybe, but my point is that I think he's smuggling the cat hair for her long before...
So why don't you nonchalantly the next time you're over there be like, hey, what were these cats like?
I wonder if she... You know what I should do? I should ask her if she has a picture of the cat. The photo board.
It's got to be a picture of her and the cats.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Could add to the wackadoo pictures of cats that aren't just random cats.
Well, but there again too, if we see a picture of her and 3 cats, we have no proof that that's where the hair came from either. So, like,
here's the other thing. All right, hold on. She's obviously supposedly a cat person, right?
Yeah.
She's an old lady. All right. How long has she been married for, do you think? Do you know? I mean, she's been married to the same guy her whole life, most likely, right?
Probably, yeah.
Why doesn't she have a cat now?
Because if this is all true and they died and she can't even bring herself to look at the fucking hair from somebody else's crib, like from her boy's crib, then she probably can't, like... If your kid died, would you replace it?
Do they all die within days of each other, Bass? I guarantee you there was a point where she replaced the cat. If this was all true, she replaced the cat at one point, right?
If your dog dies, are you going to immediately replace it?
So I feel horrible about this, but it was more because of my kids. When Dublin died, Dublin died in April, and then we got Harper in November. So that was like 7 months.
But I'm saying it's normal for people to replace a pet when they die, no matter how difficult the death is.
Then why doesn't she have a cat now?
I'm agreeing with you. This is fucking tricky.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
That's the word I used. Fascinating. Yes.
I'm telling you, it's part of her wackadoo. I love this. I love it. That's going to be her name, actually, so we don't have to.
Lady
the names
Wackadoo.
And faces have been changed for this story. Wackadoo.
Lady Wackadoo.
Lady Wackadoo. That's what it is. She's never had a cat. She's just fixated on the idea of having cats. Mass, for all we know, this hair's been being handed around since she was a little girl. Like, think about this. This hair could be from,
it might have been left to her in someone else's will.
This hair might have gone through World War II.
And it's before the sugar crisis. And it's long too, dog. Like, it's weird. I don't know. Like,
so listen, we're gonna table this. We're gonna come back to this in the next episode.
Episode 7. This is bananas. I hope to God that I can bleep out the names and keep this last segment.
I'm sure you can. We'll be fine. All right, I gotta go. Have a good meeting.
All right, Mo. I'll talk to you.
See you.
All right, thanks, cuz. Later.